I'm Shivani Gupta. I'm obsessed with small to medium businesses growing. As business owners, we take so much risk and we want to make sure it's worth it. I believe one of the best presents you can give yourself as a business owner is to be able to learn how to scale your people, your profit, and your processes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Grow Your Business podcast. I am so excited about having our guest here today, and we have Danijela, who's going to be sharing with us some insights of her journey and how she has got to be doing some of the stuff that she's doing now. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Danijela is a mindset, money, and business profit mentor for small business owners. She helps small business owners to create more profitable and sustainable businesses without the overwhelm and stress, the things that we all look for. She loves empowering women to understand their financial numbers, builds a money mindset that serves them to achieve their financial goals. And she also offers business health check strategy sessions. She offers one-on-one coaching, masterclasses, workshops for money mindset course as well. She's a CPA, a qualified accountant with over 20 years of experience in finance strategy and leadership, and has worked with small, medium, and large corporates. Welcome, Danijela.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, it's so great. And our lovely friend Michelle Broadbent connected us. And so it's so great that, we can have you on. And it sounds like you're doing some fabulous things with helping women, doing, and just looking at their finances, etc. Now, there's a whole heap of steps that have happened on the way, Danijela, for you to be able to get to where you have today. So tell us about some of the challenges and the adversities that you have faced, and transformed you into who you are and some of the work that you're doing now.
Yeah, so I've been in business for 5 years now. So back in late 2017, I went to a Business Chicks event and I decided I wanted to start my own business as a side hustle. I was in my corporate job for about 10 years. So I decided that, and I thought I'll start looking around for ideas. Little did I know that 2 weeks later my role would be redundant. And I had also just purchased my home, so I had a new mortgage.
Wow.
So that really forced me into entrepreneurship. And then I also, at that same time, like I said, it was my perfect storm now, but it was, stressful at the time. But yeah, I had a couple of small health challenges, and my relationship with my significant other was also falling apart. So it was a big time for me. So yeah, just in terms of, starting a business, it's a massive thing. And there is that wobble at the start, and I'd already done my coaching certification, so wasn't sure who I wanted to serve. And it's also about learning all the things, because you are the CEO of everything, especially at the start. So, I had to, because I'd always just been in finance, I'd worked my way up into leadership roles. So my career was always very steady, just moving up that corporate ladder into, larger finance roles and, eventually leadership roles. So yeah, starting your own business, brings everything up. Well, that was my experience anyway. So yeah, it was about learning all the copywriting and the marketing and sales and IT. IT was a massive thing as well. Just getting your IT stack all done. But what I found was, once I started to find my own people, because, most of my friends and family, they were, in jobs. So I had to look for my own people that, were also on their business journey. So I started looking around at groups that I could join. I found myself a coach as well that really helped me through the process. So yeah,
that's amazing, isn't it? I had the same transition from corporate, and I remember when you're part of a corporate and you've got IT, as you just shared, and Danijela, and everything gets done. If something breaks down, you're like, where's my IT person? Like, can this person just come and sort it out? And you're like, no, that person is now me and moi and I. So you end up getting everything that sort of comes back, onto you. And it sounds like there were so many challenges that you were facing at the time personally, in your health, in your relationships and the business, and being made your role being made redundant. So that's a lot to deal with. So when challenges come your way, is there a process or a ritual or the way that you go about doing that? Like, some people attack things a specific way and others do it a bit more randomly. What's your process, Danijela? Like, when challenges come your way, how do you deal?
Yeah, so when I have business challenges, I categorize and prioritize them, just in terms of, what's going on in my business and, is it business critical? Does it impact my clients? And I also spend time working on my business so I can get crystal clear about where I'm going and why I'm doing things. And also try and simplify things as well in my business. I've learned to say, how can this be easier and more fun? Because, I didn't start my business to have, another corporate job. Not that I, didn't like my job. I didn't start to have another job and, not, enjoy what I'm doing. Like I like at the core of it, I want to empower women around money and finances.
And so, so just that's the way that you look at it from a business sense. Anything around your personal sense? Like, do you use a similar sort of thing and try and keep the emotion out of it and do the categorization or prioritization, or do you do other things?
Yeah, so if I've got challenges with people in my life, like I've learned, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So, like I said previously, when I started my business, I felt a fair bit of judgment from family and friends, just because they hadn't gone through the process, they didn't understand. Why would you leave, a great corporate career? You went to uni for, so many years, became qualified, you're climbing the corporate ladder, you're on your way there. But what I learned was it's not about them understanding my journey, it's about me understanding my journey and standing by that. Yeah, that was a massive learning for me as well.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting, isn't it? And they have the best intentions, sometimes our family and friends, but they're coming from a different perspective in terms of what's happening.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, they want to keep you safe. Like they, especially family, like they just want you, to be happy and safe and, just, not stress yourself out. Like I said, back at that time, like there was so much going on in my life. They're just like, well, what's the safest way to go? And you know what, the safest way, yeah, it is safer, but, it might not be the right way to go. And I've learned so much, about myself, the world, the business world as well, because, I come from a finance area. So, everything was about, making numbers balance and analyzing. And, I've learned so much more along, my business journey, regards to, people and, different business skills as well. Which I think, is really important in business to recognize that, we have our craft that we do, but we also have other business skills that we need to learn because, we are business owners.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look at the future, Danijela, like, and your future aspirations, whether they be again around your business and yourself, tell us a bit about what are you hoping for, whether it's a year, 5, 10 years out. Tell us about your future aspirations.
Yeah, so I want to scale my business. I want to grow my business to help more women understand their numbers and make more meaningful decisions based on the actual data, so they can achieve their desires. And the other thing is I love to travel. So before the pandemic, I was a big traveler. I worked at Lonely Planet. So yeah, I've always had that bit of a travel bug as well since, my early 20s. So I really want to get back into traveling. I've done a bit of domestic travel since the pandemic. I'm in Melbourne, so locally to Melbourne, in Victoria, and also some interstate travel, but I really want to get overseas again sometime next year. But it'll be a different type of travel because, when you're a business owner, you've got to think about the business as well and how that's going to run with travel.
Yeah, Lonely Planet would have been amazing to be able to work for, and all the opportunities that would have come out with it. That's the first book that, any student, whether you're at uni or a student of travel, just comes up, you pick up a Lonely Planet in terms of the country you want to go to.
Absolutely. And it was such an amazing environment. Like, it was the longest job that I'd had, staying there almost 10 years. All my other jobs were, maximum 3 years. But just working with creatives and, hearing, travel stories, traveling yourself as well. Like, it was a great environment, great
Yeah.
time.
And
Um,
um and
and just
yeah.
in terms of also other aspirations, optimizing my health. So making sure I've got enough energy, and, I don't burn myself out. Like, I think with business owners, they, we tend to burn ourselves out because we're always either doing things in our business or we're thinking about our business. So, yeah, sometimes it's hard to switch off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I really like the way that you sort of said optimize it, like make it the best that it can be. Danijela, when I come across people, some people have some philosophies that have come through their family and their lineage that way, and there's others philosophies in terms of what you live by. So whether they're mantras or philosophies, whichever you want to look with us, tell us a little bit about some of the ones that are really important to you that you're trying to abide by and live by.
Yeah, so one that I learned when I was, back in that time when, everything was changing was this too shall pass. So, whether it's something great that's happening, yes, celebrate it and feel the joy, but also bring yourself back to a humble and grateful position. And also, on the other side, if it's a really challenging time, this too shall pass, really gets me through it as well. Another one that I've learned from one of my mentors, Marie Forleo, is everything's figure outable. So that helps me get into a state of, rather than just looking at the problem, it helps me get into the state of solution, which really helps as well. And another one that I look at is also staying your own lane. So there's so much noise going on, with social media and just, so many information, videos or books and that sort of thing. So it's easy to get caught up in comparisonitis, and also feeling stuck and not feeling like you're doing enough. So yeah, I just find it easier when I just go, okay, just Danijela, stay in your own lane.
I love that. That's great. That's one of mine as well is, this too shall pass when things get a bit hard and you're like, doesn't last. You just got to breathe through it and be able to make that happen. Did you have an opportunity to see Maria Forleo when she was in Australia a couple of years ago?
No, I haven't, but I've done her B School program, and that's a program that I continue going back to, just to refine my business and my messaging and marketing and that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that's great. She was great. She basically came out and danced. In fact, it was at one of the Business Chicks events that we were just speaking about earlier in terms as well. And what about what do you do? When you're helping women, you're helping them look at numbers. It's not something I get excited about, even though I have to do them in my own business. But that takes a lot out. You're giving a lot of yourself out to other people. So what do you do for your own wellness, particularly your own mental wellness? Do you have any rituals, whether they be daily, monthly, yearly? Tell us a little bit about what you do for your own wellness.
Yeah, so look, I try to meditate, daily, but I don't get there. But in the morning, like, I have a 3 by 3. So I will look at what I'm grateful for. And it's not just, I'm grateful for my home or I'm grateful for my family. It's why am I grateful for that at that particular point in time? So really connecting to that, I find that helps more rather than, listing down 10 things that I'm grateful for. I just focus on the 3 for the day. And then I also look at, 3 people that annoy me, and send love to them. So into like, I know that sounds a bit weird, but sometimes I annoy myself. So most of the time, or one of those people is me because I haven't, done something that I wanted to do. And it could be something small, like it could be, I tried to call the insurance company, the person hung up on me. I'm annoyed at that. So send them love. So I'm not in that state of, being upset or angry about it. That one, and also the other 3 is I look at 3 things that I need to do that day to move forward towards my goal. So yeah, I set one big goal for the year in my business, and then I do 3 things every day. It doesn't matter how small it is, and I won't go to bed until those 3 things are done.
Yeah, they're great, really practical, really everyday things in terms of being able to do that. And now tell us, if people go, oh my goodness, I run a business and I'm a female founder and I am just not getting my numbers where I needed to go. So where do people find you? What are the best platforms? What are the best socials to be able to follow you and listen to your wisdom and to be able to connect with you?
So on my website, www.danijela.glogovac.com. So it's just my name. And on LinkedIn, I'm active on LinkedIn, so people can connect with me there. And in terms of the other social media platform, Instagram. So it's my name, Danijela_Glogovac.
Beautiful. Danijela, thank you for doing amazing work to help women. I know certainly when I first started running my own business, that was one thing that I wasn't great at. I was much better at helping everybody else. So it's so great that you're doing the work, helping women understand their numbers and getting better at it. And really appreciate you coming on. And thanks for the connection that we had through Michelle and reaching out and having a conversation. And really looking forward to sharing your message with others.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Shivani.
I'm Shivani Gupta, and you've been listening to the Grow Your Business podcast. I hope you got one idea that you can think about or perhaps even implement straight away in your business. Thank you for listening. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn under Ask Shivani. Remember, I call it Ask Shivani, so please send me your questions that I can address in this podcast for you. And I would also so appreciate if you went to the Apple Podcast to rate and review this podcast.